whenever any brand calls and says, oh, you're gonna get to explore some new places, we always think someplace like, Southeast Asia. We do a lot of off-roading, maybe some long drives, but this time is a little different because we've got the new Ford Ranger Raptor V6. Yes, the 400 horsepower version of the Raptor. And if you notice the plates, these aren't Southeast Asia or anywhere in Asia or in Europe. We are in South Africa. Yes, we are gonna go exploring in the bush with one of the best 4x4s you can buy for the money. And we're gonna see what this country has to offer because there's a lot of different terrain, sand, ruts, rocks, quarries, all kinds of things, and even a safari. And yes, we're gonna meet some really cool people, including some really good rally drivers, some of which you've probably heard of. Anyways, enough talk right now. Let's go get to some driving. Oh, wait, steering wheel, that side, sorry. All right, so the last time we drove the Ranger Raptor, we were on a rallycross course. But now we're on something a bit more tricky. It's very soft sand. And we've got it in sand mode, one of the many modes of the Ranger Raptor. And it's gonna come in really handy this time because as you can see, it's kind of hard to get your grip on, get your traction on this vehicle. But thankfully with the tires, I mean the BF Goodrich KO2s are always good. And the traction system they've got on the Raptor is also very nice. And one thing you do have to manage is the power, because this vehicle has 400 horsepower, because it's the V6 version, not the diesel. And the diesel, it's kind of peaky in the way you use it because they tried to get so much power out of the 2-liter. But this one, being the V6, means you can kind of just manage your throttle pressure and coax your way around the bends. No dramatic movements, no dramatic motions. You don't want to steer too fast because you'll just dig yourself in. So you just want to keep it smooth, steady like this. Avoid rocks and try not to get those rocks under the rear differential because that's how you get big problems. So here, you try to get it under the right side of the diff or either on the left side just a little bit, or even just go over it with your tires. And you avoid these ruts. They actually warned us about that. When you dig into it a little bit more, you form these rails. And when you form those rails, well, what you end up with is you kind of dig up a bit more. So you just have to be steady, smooth, and have a bit of fun. But the 400 horsepower of this, let's see. I don't want to make a mistake now because it's really, really tight, but we can do this. Always good fun in a Raptor. And that's just the tires making it so much easy. I mean, it makes a big difference, these kinds of tires on this kind of terrain, but it is so soft. Let's try up here. All right. So the great thing about the Raptor also is that I think in clearance, 285 millimeters off the top of my head. I'm trying to remember what the clearances are, but I drove this recently in a rallycross track. Very easy. This one, a bit more challenging. You need to keep your wits about you, but if you know what you're doing, if you know how to manage the vehicle, you will do just fine. But why are we in South Africa? We're here with Ford, of course, but we're here as part of the contingent observing the guys doing the off-road the Rally Raid Championship. So they gave us a bit of an experience driving the Raptors. Always a welcome experience. And in a little bit, we're gonna visit some of the guys doing some rallying with the Raptor T1. And the Raptor T1 being driven by their professional drivers, Nani Roma and Mr. Carlos Sainz himself. Let's see if we can catch up with Carlos over at the press briefing, so give us some more tips on how to drive off-road. But for now, let's have a bit more fun here in the sand. Like I said earlier, we're here as part of the media contingent to witness Ford's effort at the South African cross-country rally. And this is what they're racing with. This is a Ford Raptor T1, a purpose-built racing machine that they want to use to win the rally. Now, this is not based on a Ranger Raptor wherein you have like a frame underneath. No, this is a space frame, full steel space frame with carbon fiber panels here. So that's what makes it really different. Think of it like a big ATV with a full-on roll cage, and it's even got those these tubes to. It kind of keeps the bush out because they are going to be driving in a lot of bush in a moment. Now you can see there. This is really a racing machine, guys. I mean, a rally machine. And we can see here the big wheels, BF Goodrich, of course. They use BF Goodrich on the Ranger Raptor. And then we have here dual shocks from Fox with the reservoirs there. I can see dual rate springs, the red one on top and the silver one on the bottom. Very cool. Carbon fiber body panels. They're still applying a lot of the decals. So you want to witness who's driving this car. This is number 225, but they've got a very cool driver. You can see him right here, right there. Senior, of course, not junior. And then you've got this great thing going on with the back with the carbon. Actually, that's carbon Kevlar, if you can see if it's yellow like that. But really, purpose-built rally machine. You can see the fins underneath on the rear lower control arms just to help keep the dust out, keep it down to the ground. Big exhaust. By the way, the engine of this is a 5-liter V8, similar to the Ford Mustang, but tuned somewhat differently. A little less horsepower, but a lot more on the torque. And more of the suspension work there in the back. The fins up top, of course, being a purpose-built rally machine, it is full carbon fiber all around. But yeah, that's about it. You know what? Let's see if we can get a peek inside the cockpit. I mean, they're not in park firme yet, so I don't want to disturb that. They're not in park firme yet, right?
No.
All right, so there you go. But yeah, this is what Ford will be using. And in a minute, let's go talk to Carlos and Nani Roma. They're two drivers for this event. The last Dakar winner I spoke to was Masuoka-san. You know, and one of his biggest advantages is his ability to read the road. Is that really like some quality of a Dakar driver?
Exactly. We are all my career, I did 28 Dakars. I learned a lot to read the terrain. But for example, here it's hard for me to read about the bushes. I have a lot of bushes, and it's complete new for me to read well. This is the reason the South African guys read much better this. But yeah, sure, you learn a lot to read the terrain, the feeling of everything. Yeah, definitely.
Do you prefer? I mean, you also competed in two wheels. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you like? Four?
Both.
Good.
I think it's one part of my life, my career. It was in bike, and I really enjoy. And I want Dakar with bike. And now the second part is a 4x4. This means that all my career I really enjoy, and I'm a really lucky guy that in the same life to have two different professional careers.
Yeah.
And this is not so often that you are this. You know, this means that I feel really lucky one to be competitive in the both categories.
And the last one who did that was
Peter Hansel and Oriol, but Oriol died 2 years ago. And now it's only two in the world that we won in bike and in car. It's Peter Hansel and me. It's not bad.
You've already had two WRC champions, but nobody was many who's the Dakar win. So how do you keep motivated? Keep like, racing, competing against a younger guy.
Probably because I still enjoy, first of all. Probably as well because I still have the passion to do what I'm doing. And why I have the passion is because I like it so much. This is what keeps me going. I am having good time when I'm driving and enjoying myself, working with the team, making the car better, preparing the car, thinking, helping a manufacturer like Ford to be successful in this category is always a good challenge. Winning Dakar is a challenge, winning the Dakar is a challenge, winning World Rally Championship is a challenge. and winning in Formula One also is a good challenge. So this is something that is why many people try and not many people win, because only one car, one team can win.
If you and your son can race together, do you think you will win?
Well,
Any category.
for sure, only thing I can beat him is in a rally car, in rally ride. The rest, any circuit racing, forget it.
Really? It's more because his training is different there in Formula One.
Because he's one of the best drivers in the world in circuit racing, and I'm a rally driver, I'm not circuit racing.
So that's about it for our time with Ford here at the start of the South African Safari Rally. And it's really been an eye-opening experience, because not only did we learn about what cars they were driving, which are pretty awesome by the way here in the back, but rather we picked up on how a team operates. When you observe how these race teams operate, a lot of what we normally see are the results on track, that kind of thing, but when it comes to really setting this whole thing up, making sure you're competitive, setting up your car, getting your drivers in basically in training, in practice, shakedown runs and all that, it's very different. And it's really cool to see all of that and how it all happens right here when it comes to the W2RC round, or the World Rally Raid Championship. And the spirit that Ford has in this is kind of unique. It kind of reminds me of the time when Ford started out and they wanted to win Le Mans. And when they did that, it took quite a while. It took a lot of effort, took a lot of grit, took a lot of heartache, and I think Ford is ready to do that again, but this time when it comes to off-roading and rallying, which is something that I think a lot of us who enjoy pickup trucks and 4x4s in general are gonna be able to relate to. And now the race is about to start, and Carlos is gonna race. Well, they're gonna race against the clock. They're gonna try to beat everybody else, but they know they've got a challenging road ahead. But given that the team seems to be very dedicated to it, we have no doubt that they are very much going to succeed. Anyways, guys, this is Vince of AutoIndustriya. Thank you for watching, and it's time for me to head back to Metro Manila. Oh, here's the start. What a sound. And that's what makes rallying special. You can really get close to the cars. That's a lot of dust. Time for a shower.